I'm Laura.
And I'm Mallory. We are out here on the beautiful campus of Meridian today in front of the ropes course to catch up on things that have been going on. Laura, I have a question for you.
Okay, what?
So, I wanted to ask you, what brings you joy?
Oh, that's a good question. I like that. My family brings me joy. I really enjoy spending time with my family and my daughter in particular. And so I think spending time with them brings me joy.
Okay, so I've been thinking about this a lot lately, on this concept of like thinking about what brings us joy. I teach this class, and I find that when I ask adult professionals what brings them joy, it's almost always related to their children or their family or like the essentials, like sleeping brings me joy, right?
That sleeping brings me joy too.
But I feel like we need to be a little bit selfish, when thinking about what brings us joy. So like, what brings you joy? Yes, I know children and families and things bring you joy, but like, what brings you joy? Little things that bring you joy.
Like just me.
Just
like an
you.
Individual.
Yeah.
Reading, maybe. I do enjoy reading. I do enjoy taking some quiet time and doing that. I enjoy cooking. But I don't know, it's cooking for my family, but I do enjoy just the cooking, like the actual act of creating in the kitchen. I do enjoy that.
Relaxing and things like that.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm asking this is like, when all these things are going on, when we're feeling stressed out, I feel like a lot of times we forget to think about what makes us happy, little things that make us happy, and doing those things and appreciating those things during the day, during each day, is important. Like an example for me would be something that brings me joy, lighting up a new candle and then blowing it out. Something about that smell of like blowing out a candle, I don't know if it's nostalgic or something, but it makes me so happy, and it's such a small thing, right?
So it doesn't have to be like a big event or a big
or a extensive hobby or something, right? But I think recognizing these little things that bring us joy and finding time to do those each day is so important.
And as you're talking, I'm thinking like, oh, maybe those things I listed don't actually bring me joy. Maybe I just enjoy them, right? But like, I have a convertible, as you know, and there are moments when I have the top down and I'm driving by myself that I feel actual joy. Like I would describe it that way. So can it be something as small as that, like as fleeting?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my gosh, I like that.
Sitting out in the sun, all of those things.
So how do we find the thing that brings us joy? If we're one of the many people out there that have a hard time answering that question, or just would honestly answer it with I don't know, how do we start that exploration?
That's a good question. Maybe even asking friends like, hey, here's this concept, what do you guys think? Getting ideas from them. Do you have any ideas of like things that you've heard of in the community?
I think that maybe a good place to start would be with some activities that maybe we already know have some science behind them, that have some health and benefits to our mental and emotional health. Like water can be very grounding, so maybe swimming or the beach if you have access to a place where you can swim. Gardening, right? So I don't know if you guys saw, or if you saw, there's a gentleman that was featured on Meridian's Facebook page who is doing like a plant swap in the community, and gardening has some tremendous benefits, getting your hands in the earth, and then some physical activity, maybe exploring that. Even if you're not necessarily into physical fitness, we know that those things have some physical, emotional, and psychological benefits. So like a yoga or working out, and just maybe trying new things, giving yourself permission to explore, but starting with some stuff. If you really don't have any idea where to start, maybe starting with some stuff that we already know has some other benefits.
Yeah, so kind of looking at things that scientifically helps with stress and helps bring happiness, and then just kind of trying new things, exploring. I think that's a great idea.
And I think the important thing to remember, though, is like what you started with, because that really stopped me in my tracks. Like, this is about you.
Yeah.
Right?
This is
yes. So what brings you joy? Not other people. What is it that's individual to you? And I think we matter. You matter, and so it's important to find what makes you happy.
Yeah. And just know, when things get to be too much, or if you need help from other people, If you're stressed out, anxious about anything, Meridian services are still open. And you can always give us a call at 352-374-5600.
Let us know in the comments what brings you joy. We'll see you next week.